Today, we're diving into something we all deal with every single day, food safety. And you know what? We're going to show you how a few simple rules can be the difference between a truly delicious meal and a really dangerous mistake. Let's get right into it.
So, take a look at this. A simple bowl of rice. I mean, it seems harmless, right? Well, believe it or not, depending on how it's been handled, it could actually be a ticking clock, and we are absolutely going to find out why.
You see, it all comes down to a super common, but potentially really risky mistake. It's this hidden danger that kind of lurks in our everyday food handling, whether you're in a professional kitchen or just making dinner at home.
And yeah, that mistake has a name. It's called time temperature abuse. It's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's when we let food just sit for way too long in what's known as the danger zone. That's the sweet spot where bacteria just multiply like crazy.
But here's the thing. Not all foods are created equal when it comes to this kind of risk. Some are way more vulnerable than others, and they have a special name. So it's time for us to meet the TCS foods.
TCS. That stands for Time and Temperature Control for Safety. I mean, the name itself is basically the instruction manual, right? These are the foods that really need us to pay close attention to both the clock and the thermometer to keep them safe to eat.
So what are we talking about here? Well, you've got the obvious ones, right? Meat, poultry, fish, dairy, and eggs. But the ones that surprise a lot of people are things like cooked rice, beans, and pasta. And get this, even things like cut melons and leafy greens.
Just think about a great bowl of ramen. You could easily have a bunch of TCS foods all in one meal. You've got the meat, you've got that soft-boiled egg, and yep, even the cooked noodles. Every single one of those needs to be handled the right way to be safe.
Okay, so we know which foods are most at risk. Now let's talk about where all this risk happens. We're talking about the infamous danger zone. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like this. It's the perfect temperature for bacteria to throw a massive party right in your food.
So let's get specific. Where exactly do these harmful bacteria grow the fastest?
You got it. It is in the temperature danger zone. That's a range roughly between 41 and 135 degrees Fahrenheit. It's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just right for them, which makes it the absolute most dangerous for us. And this is a fact that's so important to remember. Letting food hang out in the danger zone is one of the main causes of foodborne illness. It's one of the biggest mistakes we can make, but also one of the most preventable. Okay, enough about the problem. Let's get to the solution. Because the good news is winning this fight against bacteria is totally, completely manageable. All it takes is a simple 4-step strategy to keep your food safe. So here's your game plan. First, you cook food to the right internal temperature to kill off anything nasty. Second, you hold it safely. That means keeping hot food hot and cold food cold way outside that danger zone. Third, you've got to cool it down fast. And finally, you reheat any leftovers the right way to get them back up through that danger zone as quickly as possible. All right, you've got the theory down. Now, let's put it into practice. How about a quick round of safe or unsafe? Let's see how well you've been paying attention. Time to test that new knowledge. Okay, scenario number 1. A pot of cooked rice is left sitting out on the kitchen counter for a few hours after dinner. What do you think? Safe or unsafe?
Oh yeah, that is absolutely unsafe. Remember our very first slide? Cooked rice is a classic TCS food. Leaving it on the counter is pretty much a textbook example of time temperature abuse.
All right, number 2, you've got some leftover soup from the fridge. You warm it up on the stove, but you don't really get it piping hot. It's just lukewarm. Safe or unsafe?
That one is also unsafe. If you don't reheat it properly and quickly, that soup spends way too much time just lingering in the danger zone. And that gives any bacteria that might be there a golden opportunity to multiply.
Okay, last one. You make a huge, amazing batch of chili. To cool it down, you stick the whole deep pot straight into the fridge to sit overnight. Is that a safe move or an unsafe one?
You know, this one trips people up, but it is unsafe. The key word here isn't just cooling the food, it's cooling it rapidly. A big, deep pot like that, it acts like an insulator. That means the chili in the very middle of the pot is going to stay in the danger zone for hours and hours, even while it's in the fridge.
So look, if you take away just one thing from all of this, let it be this. Time and temperature. They are the two most important ingredients in your kitchen when it comes to food safety. If you can master those two, you've mastered keeping your food safe.
And that's our deep dive. So I'll just leave you with this one final thought to chew on. After hearing all this, what's one thing in your kitchen that you're going to look at just a little bit differently from now on?